Hello everybody, how are you doing on this fine, cloudy, well it's cloudy here, overcast, drizzling afternoon? I am Demetra K and I'm sitting here with my co-host partner in crime, Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hands, Sadiq. We have, as we announced in the last show, changed the name of the show again, y'all.
Because we got to keep it real.
I think we found the name we want to stick to, and it's called Don't Believe the Hype, in that we are asking you to, as Ronald Reagan, which is the only thing he's really, I like that he says, trust but verify. Don't believe what you hear. Go behind the curtain and see what's actually there. So we changed it to Don't Believe the Hype. We'll give you the information, and then you go through further research and whatever else you need to do.
And let me make a disclaimer. If you hear a noise or a voice behind this curtain, it's her daughter.
She's the critique behind the curtain. Okay? So anyway, we'll get right into our topics because we got a jam-packed show. The first topic we want to talk about is white women now being brutalized by the police. Okay? So I'm going to get into it. I took a lot of notes. I want to read them to you so I don't miss anything. Alright, so a couple of days ago, a white woman from New Jersey was brutalized by the police at the beach. Emily Wyman was approached by the police because she had an open container and was underage drinking. In addition, she has been charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, aggravated assault by spitting bodily fluids on or at a police officer, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, obstruction, and minor possession of alcohol. Alright? Now in the video that we're going to show you in just a second, I want to preface it for you real quick. It shows an officer who is now on desk duty, or two officers rather, who are on desk duty, punching Wyman in the face and placing her in a chokehold. Police brutality for black people in America is nothing new, right? But now we're starting to see police officers attack their own being white people, specifically white women.
Thugs, police thugs.
Right. Now, many who are normally not outraged by police brutalization of black folks are outraged by what has happened to a white woman. Okay, so, but this is not the first time that an organization that has been adverse to black people have turned on their own. So we'll go ahead and watch the video, and then we'll go into the other part of this.
Oh, stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop!
No!
Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Stop
resisting!
Back up!
Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
We're talking and they got me.
It doesn't matter. You're not allowed to hit me like that.
Back up!
Stop resisting!
Back up!
You're not allowed to hit me a toe like that. Stop resisting!
Because they tried, they recognized this. Back up! I didn't know. And they have her on the ground. Stop resisting, dude. You didn't
Stop resisting!
Get their badges. Everyone their badges. Everyone knows badges. Hit her on the head.
Okay, so as you saw there, she was being, some would say, brutalized and attacked by the police, and as I just read a second ago, they have a bunch of charges because they're saying that she hit them. You know, before the video came on, she kicked the officer in the face.
Let me cut you off real quick. Why is it that when a policeman is beating you in the head and you're defending yourself, they charge you with assaulting them?
And as you heard in the video, and it sounds like it was bystanders saying, stop resisting, stop resisting. Okay, well, if you punch me a couple times in my face, and you got me in a chokehold.
Your natural instinct is to preserve yourself.
Up there
yeah, but it's just funny how they got the clubs and the guns, and they're charging people with assaulting them.
I mean, it's just natural for you, like you said, to shield yourself. And probably not. Okay, your cat is about to go crazy. He's like, I'm gonna knock over the whole operation here. Okay, but so anyway, so we saw the video. So as I said, she's been charged with a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, wow, they like emptied the whole basket of charges on her. You know, because I think that my suspicion that they did that is because, for one, she is a white woman.
Sure.
The video looks bad
They want to make sure she gets paid in a settlement for our tax
they want to make sure that she gets stuck with something, I think. Now, admittedly, as a lot of people say, especially when it comes to black people, we don't know what happened before.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to the video.
The video came on. But she was saying, they just came up to me, and I was like, "Are you joking?" And then one of the police officers got mad. I was like, "Well, now we're gonna charge you," and then that's kind of where it got ugly. So I don't know if she was intoxicated. Well, she wasn't intoxicated because I guess that she passed the sobriety test.
Right.
All right. So as I said, this is not the first time that an organization that is very adverse and harmful to black people have turned on one of their own. Okay, back in 1925, D.C. Stevenson, the Grand Dragon of Indiana's KKK and a prominent Democratic political figure, kidnapped and raped a woman by the name of Madge Obenholzer. Something like that. He not only raped and kidnapped her, he mutilated her body by biting her all over until she bled. Bit her tongue, just the breath everywhere. Devil. But they said this was kind of like how he got down. He wasn't. He was known to have raped women before. Okay, this is the Grand Dragon of the KKK in 1925. All right. Even after he did all of that to her, it was his goal to force her to marry him because he was smitten by her. He wanted her. And then they went out to dinner a couple times. And then she reluctantly went over his house that one time, and so he was trying to force her to marry him. Now he had one of his assistants carry her home. So once he realized, okay, let me go back. He had the help of one of his flunkies to keep her captive. So some of the guys in the KKK were in on holding her hostage. After he did all that to her, she's suffering because she's bleeding, she's bit up, all raped, and all kinds of stuff. So once he realized she wasn't going to marry him, he had one of his assistants carry her home. But before she went home, he told her to say that she was involved in a car accident. That's how she ended up the way she was. And to forget about what really happened because he was the law and the power. Because again, he was this, they even had said at this point during that time that he could have been the president of the United States. That's how prominent he was and influential in the hands of politics.
Yeah, well, and politics during that time as well, and in a lot of local governments, especially in the South, you had to be a member of the KKK or some kind of racist organization to even move up in the ranks.
Right, and to say the least, a lot of people were involved, and Indiana was like the hub of the KKK. Okay, so now she didn't listen to him. Obviously, 29 days before she died of infection and poisoning, because while he had her captive, she says, "Look, I got a bad headache and I'm just in pain. Can you guys take me to the drugstore so I can get some medicine?" So she tried to OD on the mercury, but it didn't work. She got very sick. So she ended up dying 29 days later of the infection and the poisoning from the mercury. Okay, and then so she told what happened to her. She testified about what really happened, and Stevenson was arrested and found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Now, before that, he was trying to talk to the judges and stuff, and I'll tell you guys why I'm giving you all the background. So he's trying to talk to the judges and all this stuff, saying, "Listen, there's a lot of y'all that's involved in the KKK, and if I get found guilty, I'm name dropping."
Right, yeah, he's gonna
but they didn't listen. They was like, "Okay, whatever, do what you gotta do." And so, from that point, he began to drop names of very prominent people who were Klan members. One of the people was the governor of Indiana, along with a lot of other high-profile people. Now, the governor, along with other dignitaries, were charged with conspiracy. The Klan was never the same. In fact, after about 10 years, the Klan was almost non-existent. It went from this big organization to dang near just gone because of what he did. And then it says that 100,000 people declared D.C. Stevenson's inauguration of the Grand Dragon. They celebrated and cheered it, but they were only outraged once he had a white woman's blood on his hands. Okay, so what's the moral of the story here? It's all fun and games that black people are being mistreated until the mistreatment starts happening to a white woman. And so the question that I have, and maybe you can help me answer this: will this be the turning point for the police department, as it was for the KKK when their big time, Grand Dragon brutalized and ultimately murdered a white woman? Because like I said, it was all good and y'all doing at the black women. There's no secret that KKK raped and brutalized and murdered black women along with men as well, obviously. But once it turned on their own women, because in more detail in the story, they were like, wait a second. We supposed to be hating and doing bad things to people who ain't us. But now y'all, you off the chain now. You doing it to good white women. And so that is said to, have dilapidated the organization. So will this now be the turning point for the police department, for people? When I say people, I'm saying the Blue Lives Matter crowd, the apologists for police brutality. Will they now, because if you go into a lot of these comments on the social media stuff, the comment section, you see a lot of people justifying, or a lot of people saying, oh, well, that's not right. Not justifying, but that's not right. Look what they did to her, and, that they're animals and all this other stuff. And so you have a lot of black people on there who are being facetious, I guess if you will, saying, well, we don't know what happened before the video came on. Oh, it looks like she was resisting arrest. Oh, well, she needs to listen next time, because that's what they tell us. But it's like, not as a white woman. It's like, all those animals.
Yes. She needs justice.
Right. So will this be the turning point? Because now it's starting to bleed from this, from it just being black people or people of color to white women who are like the pillars of the world.
No. Well, I'm going to say I don't think it's going to turn personally. I think here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
The disappearance of the middle class. It all comes down to money. It's like when I was overseas. Everything comes down to money. If you ain't got it, it's us versus them.
Right.
It's as simple as that. They don't care if you're white, Asian, whatever you're doing. You ain't got no money. Have and have nots. So the police force is basically there to protect the elite.
Okay. So
and if you're not in that elite class, you don't matter.
Okay, but to this point, this is why I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. This white woman was on the beach. Sounded like maybe she was asleep or something, or didn't know what was going on. She was laying down or something. Her baby's daddy, because that's what she said, her baby's father, and the baby was in the water when this all happened. So I guess what I want to know is, how did the police know who she was? Did they know if she had money or if she was poor?
Okay. I'm going to break it down like this. The police force now has come under the scrutiny of this national thuggery thing. They are trained. Okay, if you're going to be a police officer, let's just break this down. And I don't know if people are going to agree with me or disagree with me, but let's break this down. If I have a calling to be a police officer, I'm going to be a police officer because I want to help people and I'm willing to put my life on the line to protect them.
Right.
But what is the first thing a police officer says when they're involved in a shooting or a discharge of their firearm? I was in fear of my life.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
Right.
If you're in fear of your life, why are you a police officer?
Well, yeah, I mean, in this incident, because we're talking about this incident, how was you in fear of your life? Because ladies on the beach, bikini or something like it on. I mean, what could she really do to you?
But that is how they're being trained. And unfortunately, you've got police officers. To be a police officer in a lot of cities, all you need is a high school diploma. I'm not saying that you need a higher education, but you think that you would want that.
Well, yeah, but if you're a scaredy cat, I mean, being a police officer, you need to have some, bravery about you. You can't, I mean, because we've seen the video footage of, they said, well, I was in fear of my life. I thought they had a gun. It was a cell phone, or like clearly you're lying. And you are in fear of your life.
Right, and ask yourself this: why are white people patrolling predominantly black, Hispanic, Asian neighborhoods? Let Asians patrol their neighborhoods, and so on and so forth. Because a lot of that fear does happen. If I'm a white guy from Fullerton and you're putting me in South Central LA, from what I understand and what I grew up raising and seeing, I have a natural fear instilled in me against the people I'm supposed to protect.
And if it's not fear, it's, well, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be boot stomping on the ground with these Negroes. I'm going to show them who's boss and all that other attitude. And it's like, you ain't got to be doing all that.
And in our community, who's the worst police officer out of them all?
Right. Us.
The black police officer.
Right. Well, we're going to show Massa, I got this.
Right.
Watch what I can do. I saw a video the other day. It's a couple years old, but I guess the guy finally was brought to charges. It's a black officer. Homeless black guy was in Atlanta somewhere. He was sitting on the beach. waiting for. So I don't know, just sitting
Yeah,
there.
I think I read that.
And the guy comes up to him, the police officer. They have a few words, and then within a matter of seconds, the officer just starts wailing and beating him all about the body with, swinging like a wild animal. Hitting this dude everywhere, broke his bones and stuff.
And you want to know why police officers do that? And this is what I do when I take my camera and I go out and I assert my rights.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to be police officers because that gives them the power. They think they have special privileges. A police officer doesn't have any special privileges than what we have.
Right.
But when you don't know the law, they think that they're the law. The police officer is not. The police officer enforces the law.
They're peacekeepers.
Yeah, they are not there to interpret the law. That's what judges are for.
Well, now they are the law, the judge, and the jury,
they think
all
they are
on the scene.
Yeah, they think they are. And if you don't know...
And execution.
Right, and if you don't know your rights, then that's what they take advantage of, because you'll find a lot of police officers don't even know the basic right to arrest people.
Because you see people a lot saying, I don't have to give you that. Tell me why am I being detained?
Right.
Well, no, I'm free to go. No, you need to stay right here.
Right.
Okay, what am I under arrest? Well, okay then.
Right. California is not a stop and frisk state. If a police officer asks you for an ID, you ain't got to give them no ID.
But the cold part about that is, because you're right, we don't have to give ID, but we've seen other sides of that. When you don't give the ID, then they grabbing on you, and then they trying to do other stuff to you. Like, wait.
Well, they grab on you if you put them in a situation. No, I've seen it too. But what I'm saying is, in the conversations I've gotten into with the police, once I started showing them that I know 808 and 8G7, and you're quoting this to them, they kind of back off, and I'm like, fuck you.
But that's
fuck
true.
you.
But this is the thing, though. This is because I hear what you're saying. You should be knowledgeable, but I shouldn't have to recite the whole penal code to you, which you're supposed to know the law more than I know the law. I shouldn't have to recite all that to you for you not to put your hands on me, or at least tell me, am I under arrest, and for why? I should be able to. That's my right to ask you those things.
Right, but it's also your right to know your rights. And I'm gonna go off what you just said. The minute that the officers, just because the officer asks you to stop doesn't mean you have to stop. You can continue on walking.
Okay, but then you do that, then you resist it.
No, you're not. The first thing you ask is this a consensual contact? Because what he's asking for is consensual contact. When you're in public, you don't have to talk to anybody. Okay,
but how do you explain Philando Castile? The brother that was, I can't remember his Walter, the one in North Carolina, was shot in the back.
Wait, one at a time. Philando Castile was the guy shot in the car.
Where's his fiance in the back?
Okay, unfortunately, you're in a car. When you're in a car, you have to comply.
He did!
No. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, he's in a situation where he has to comply with what the officer is requesting.
He did.
I know, and he still got shot.
He didn't even give him a chance. He did everything he told him.
No, and I understand that.
Yeah.
And that was total murder and so on. And there was a cop basically scared of the people.
Rice, the little 12-year-old. That was murdered, and within 2 seconds the cop pull up on him.
But what I'm talking about is everyday pretty people walking out. If you see a cop in a park and you're in a park, and he says, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?" No, and you just keep walking. Wait, let me finish. Excuse me, can I talk to you? No, and then you want to give him some respect. Yeah, what's the problem? Can I see your ID? No. Well, sir, is there a reason why I want to say, Mr. Officer, are you detaining me? Well, no, I'm not detaining you. Well, have a good day. And you keep walking. There's nothing he can do about that. Nothing whatsoever.
Okay, and I agree, in Utopia.
Well,
in Utopia.
No.
Well, yes.
You can just walk.
No, you cannot.
Okay, go ahead.
You cannot, brother, because you're not going to get me to suspend what I've seen on copious amounts of videos of these people doing, because I hear that a lot, and I'm not saying this to chastise you or anything, because I hear people make that argument a lot. Well, if the brother would just do A, B, C, and D, and he knows, we've seen all of that take place, and we've still seen people lose their lives.
No, but here's what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. I'm absolutely right. What I'm saying is, it's just like a dog when he smells somebody has fear. They pounce on that. And that's what gets them to
exaggerate. But as a black man in America, you are going to be in fear because you're watching your fellow brothers being mowed down and murdered wholesale for nothing by police officers. And let's not ever forget the origin of the police officers is that of the slave patrols and ultimately the KKK.
Right. Now,
wait a minute. A lot of those officers they come up on black people with the intent of doing bodily harm.
Exactly.
Regardless of what you're being arrested
You're
for.
absolutely right. Now, I'm a shit starter and I'm a troublemaker.
And I'd like to thank you guys for watching this. You're probably hearing a little noise outside because there's some construction, so...
No, that's the trash.
Oh, that's the trash man. Okay, he's going to be gone in a second.
But here's the thing. And you're absolutely right. I said, there's every scenario, we're both right in each scenario. It's how you handle the scenario. I'm a shit starter troublemaker. The point is, I think the reason why I'm so successful at what I do is because, number one, I don't fit the profile. I'm not dressed, thuggery. When a cop asks you, let's give you an example. No, let me just give you an example.
I'm listening.
When a cop asks you, let's say, are you on parole? You don't have to answer that, but some people willingly answer it.
But because the problem is this. It's because eventually they're going to get their answer one way or the other.
And what did I always say?
Because I understand what you're saying. We know the law. There's certain things you don't have to do by law. But a lot of these especially black men, they just want to go home.
Right.
They don't want, listen, I don't want no trouble. No, I'm not on parole. Here's this, that, and the other. I just want to make it home. And not only just make it home, I want to leave here alive.
Right.
And so I'm going to do what I can. But in a lot of those cases, that doesn't happen for those brothers. They end up on the wrong side of that anyway.
And I think that's because they don't understand what they're
That's
dealing with.
not
No. And you got some police that are just assholes and want to do that.
And to me, that's the bottom line.
But you can't say all the police. But
not all the police,
right,
but the
most
ones that we've seen
with
the egregious
yes, I agree.
Reach of power has been a lot of these brothers. In most of the cases, have complied and overly complied. Yes, sir, this, that, and the other.
But what I'm saying is, what's the one thing that I say, and I say it on every show when we're dealing with police and the police encounter you, you don't know what to do. Let's say you're scared of them and they're scared of you. What's the one thing you're supposed to do no matter what if you don't know what to do?
You tell me. What is that?
Keep your mouth closed and let them make the decision.
Okay.
At that point.
All right, but again.
At that point.
What about the people that have done that?
Again.
The brother who was, I can't remember his name, but he was working with students with special needs, and they come up on him. He's on the ground with his hands up, not saying a word, and they still shoot him.
Right.
So it's like, to me, I get it. We should comply, and we know all this laws.
No, you shouldn't comply.
But I'm saying,
it's unlawful.
But I'm saying, if you do comply, you're gonna die.
Right.
If you do know the law, you're gonna die. So it's like, we got to stop trying to put the onus on the victim, in that we know police officers, the very root of their organization was always to harm black people. That is what it's about.
Of course. But I'm going to say in my experience, they pick up the fact that I know what I'm doing, and I make them look bad.
I think you've just been very fortunate because I know a lot of black men, my brother being one of them, who are always in a suit, very professional man, who's had a lot of negative interaction with boys. One time he called the police on somebody who was doing something to him, and he can hear the police officer saying, okay, well, let me go talk to this nigger.
Right.
He's like, huh? You talking to me? And my brother's very on the bougie side of life. And he's appalled, like, surely he's not talking about me.
Yeah. And have you noticed that when police get together, the first police officer that makes contact with you, that's the lead officer. And then let's say they know they fucked up, they'll get in a group to get their story together.
So they can F you up.
No, or they'll say, okay, so they're all on the same page and go against you.
Right, so I mean, I get what you're saying. Yes, know the law, know
have
the
an idea of it.
And
if you don't, keep quiet, they're going to do what they're going to do anyway.
It just, I hate to say this, because God forbid something happened to me, I'm going to try to call the police and hopefully work out in my favor. But the police officers are not the friends of black people in general.
No, and I've never said that, because every time I encounter a police, I say, what's your badge number? He'll ask you for ID. I'll say, let me see your ID. And he'll go like this. I said, no, let me see your ID so I know where you live.
You have just been fortunate. I would say fortunate in that you do know the law, and fortunate that you haven't come across that one police officer like, I ain't gonna show you nothing.
Oh, no. Not true. I've taken a police officer's baton and beat him with it and stood there.
Okay, now you're lying. Okay, now, all right, now.
And didn't even run.
Okay.
That was in House Party.
And then you woke up tired, Barry.
Yeah, remember in House Party where the kid was in the jail? He goes, you know what this man did?
Okay. But so anyway, that was the question I have as far as that. What is that going to be the turning point when the police officers start beating up, especially white women? And things? So you don't think it is? You just think it's an issue between have and have-nots?
No.
Okay,
exactly.
well,
I don't think
you guys, please, when you watch the video, let us know what you think. Is this going to be the turning point for the police department to say, somebody to say, maybe good white people to say, okay,
nope.
Now you guys are starting to brutalize our women?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll see. Moving right along, as you guys probably read and heard about all up on your timeline, the news, and everywhere else in between, Roseanne Barr of the Roseanne Show just had her show canceled. Yes, child. Because she issued a she tweeted, I guess, I don't have Twitter, but tweeted a racist tweet in regards to Valerie Jarrett, who was senior advisor to the White House, the White House. Mm-hmm. And she said that she was the child, and I'm paraphrasing, of the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. That almost immediately got her show canceled within hours of the tweet.
Yeah, the president of Disney.
Which is a black woman.
No, it's the white guy.
No, of Disney. But I'm talking about ABC Entertainment is the black woman.
No, the guy of Disney, the high guy.
Well, he piggybacked. So
he said
they were on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's done.
And so even before that, Wanda Sykes, who is was a producer.
Right.
Said, I will no longer be returning to the Roseanne Show after the tweet and all that. And of course, she got a lot of backlash from everybody you can think of, her co-stars. Mm-hmm. Just everybody's like, denouncing it.
Well, just think about this. You're an actor and you're on the production set. This thing just got picked up and had the highest ratings ever.
Yeah, and the first night,
25 million people. So you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna made plan. I just bought a house based on
right.
You know what I mean?
Like some of those actors probably haven't acted since Roseanne went on.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You made all these plans, you dedicated to the show, and now this dumb bitch just goes and does this.
I said, why didn't they just kill her off or something?
Right. Now, and then think about this: you're gonna let your racism get in front of your money?
Well, but this is where I'm leading to now. Right, okay, so the question is, they canceled her show, and everybody's on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like most people are like, yay, and then some people are like, why? That was my favorite show. It's freedom of speech and blah 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 blah, and all this other stuff. And so my question is, for one, I'm asking you, since there's nobody else asked, should her show have been taken off the air?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Like I said, put it like this: it's hard to. The whole thing, a reason why people do shows and stuff is to sell merchandise and advertisements and all that other stuff.
That's how the advertisement are paying like $150,000 for 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So you're affecting money, and that's the whole we have shows so that they can bombard us with get this and get that and get this.
The numbers.
You can't have a successful product associated with a known racist.
Yeah, and that's the other thing people are saying too. Like, well, y'all noticed she was off the racist chain.
Yeah, exactly.
So why are y'all mad now?
Right.
I mean, but a lot of people don't understand too. You can't call liking no black people to no monkey.
Right.
It's like, come on now. That's very racist.
She should have gone with the welfare mother thing.
But then a lot of people too are saying, what, you stupid? Well, a lot of people are saying, Wanda Sykes always, in a lot of her stand-ups, calls Trump an orangutan.
Yeah.
Now,
orangutan.
I agree, name calling is not
It's not good.
However, we're talking about, because as far as I know, we have never heard Valerie Jarrett engage in calling people names and all kinds of stuff. That's Trump's game right there. Mm-hmm. That's all Trump do is insult people. So it's like, okay, one poke in the eye deserves another poke in the eye. So to me, that's not really the same. But some people will disagree. And so my next question is, has Trump caused folks to write checks their behinds can't cash?
Yes. Absolutely, because they, now they see this guy there and they think they're emboldened, and you'll be in a club, hey nigga, and then when they're getting their asses beat, they wonder, what did I do?
Trump does it all the time.
No, you can't do what it's not the same thing, and I'm serious about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, people can look at me and say I'm very pro-black, which could be derived as racist,
which is not.
It's not, right? Just like anybody else takes care of their people, I want to be for my people.
What's wrong with that?
But if that's how you feel, but the thing is, I'm not going to go into the white neighborhood and talk about, Minister Farrakhan said, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to keep that to myself and just, there's a time and a place for everything.
So basically, Trump gets away with it, but Roseanne, you can't get away with
Right.
it. Well, you know, she said it wasn't really her now.
Yeah, she made a statement that it was the medicine she
The
was
Ambien
on.
did it.
Which is bullshit because now you're saying you're taking a mind-altering drug.
Well, Ambien put out a statement that says that racism is not a side effect.
of the thing.
I thought that was so genius.
Yes.
That is not a side effect.
Yeah, you know, and it's so sad because now she sees that it affects her money because Roseanne hasn't worked in years. Now she's like, oh my God, I got to come up with a good excuse.
Yeah, but it affects. Like, it was how many people on the Doggone Show? It looked like it was 10 other people
10
or
people,
so.
right? But here's the thing, and that's why you know she was lying. If you go back, just go back 5 years and follow her tweets and her social media, and you will see that she's a known racist.
Yeah, just start
Minister
learning some
Farrakhan,
other
same
stuff.
thing. Minister Farrakhan,
Right.
same thing. He's telling you what's going on.
Like on the show we do on Sunday, we have a guy who continuously says that we need to get a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
And we always tell him, well, damn, Marcus Garvey had a blueprint for us.
And we didn't want to follow.
Martin had a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah Muhammad had a blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, Martin Luther King, they've all had blueprints.
Me first.
Everybody's had blueprints. Like, which one are we going to follow?
Mm-hmm. Me first, though. No matter what your blueprint is, if it doesn't have something that I can get out of it, it ain't worth my follow.
Yeah, but eventually we're going to have to get it. I mean, like, we're going to keep making blueprints, and then finally you're going to say, okay, I'm on board with that.
Right. Speaking from a military aspect, the military has people in the war planning operation. All they do all day is play war. And they make these blueprints of how a war should go,
right,
how you're going to win. And they take these blueprints and they put them on the shelf and they store them. So when the president comes out and says, I want to invade Mexico, there is a blueprint for that. And
right,
they will pull that out, and occasionally they'll update it and see what's going on.
Dr. Claude Anderson, he's giving us powernomics. Mm-hmm. Like, how many other blueprints do we need? Mm-hmm. So we got to stop. Just we listen, y'all. Black people, we're going to have to do the work.
We're going to have to do the work.
We're going to have to do the work. Stay up out the waffle houses, and all these people who don't want you there, go make your own waffles. Let's do what we're supposed to do as black people.
Here's a statistic that I found when I was over there just chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, the FBI and the Justice Department has shut down back pages and all these escort pages and stuff like that. Yeah. No, you know, I had read that when it was on the news.
No, I know. Yeah, it's been a while.
So you know, they've been doing this, right?
I think Craigslist even took their.
Yeah, Craigslist was. Matter of fact, their owner, Craigslist, was brought in on charges.
Well, you know, getting people killed up on
that. Yeah, they're getting killed up and stuff like that. And there was a report where a lot of, and like I said, I'm worried about my people first. I don't care about, not that I don't care, but I'm not concerned. That's the word. Right. I'm not concerned about white people. I'm not concerned about Mexicans. I'm not concerned about.
I'm concerned about your people first.
Yeah, I got to worry about home first.
Right.
And there was in this article that I was reading. And the funny thing is, it was a foreign article, and they were talking about the prostitution and stuff that's going on in the United States. Mm-hmm. And it particularly targeted black. The prostitution, because basically it was about the abortion that's going on in the black community. And a high rate. People don't know that. We got to wake up. Black people do a lot of abortions, and I'm not saying it's a lot of it's our fault, but we got to stop telling our daughters, you destroyed your life. You did this, you did that, and these girls are going and...
Planned Parenthood is not your friend.
Yes, exactly. We got to stop doing that. You make a mistake, fine, but don't keep making that same mistake.
Right.
But they were saying in this article how the human trafficking and the prostitution that is going, the escorting in the black community, and I'm going to have to agree with the article, because they're saying that now that they shut these things down, these girls are now having to either go into the streets or outright solicit, which is getting them cases and, you know, and jail rates. And I'm going to have to agree with that. And the reason I'm going to have to agree with that it is a concern. And I'm not for prostitution. I'm not saying that's what you should do.
Are you sure? Because I saw you out there.
No. Illegal prostitution in other countries is great. No.
If it's university, I just seen you out there talking to this lady. I don't know what y'all was doing.
No. She needed a ride. No, but in all seriousness, in this article, what they were saying, how these girls are, you know, the rate is going to go up, whatever. And I'm going to have to agree with it. And the reason I'm going to agree with what the article was saying is because I can go on Instagram and see girls on there.
Instagram models?
Yeah, Instagram moms shaking their asses.
It's funny because Al asked me that yesterday. He says, what's the Instagram model?
Yeah, booty model.
And I tried my best to explain it to him.
But the funny thing is now they shut down these pages. These girls are now advertising outright.
Straight up hoeing on Instagram.
On Instagram.
I don't even go on there much anymore.
Yeah, and other platforms. So we got to be cognizant of what's going on and wake up. And that's why we're doing Don't Believe the Hype, because it's like something we don't want to speak about.
Well, I think, because I don't know the statistics on black prostitution and all that, But I would say the prostitution is probably going to go up in general because of the times we're living in. I kid you not, I was in San Bernardino Sunday, I think it was.
Down the street.
San Bernardino, roughly 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and there are full-blown prostitutes walking around in broad daylight.
Yeah, 5th Street.
Now, they didn't say they were prostitute, but come on.
Yeah, 5th Street, 4th Street.
With booty shorts on, just kind of walking up, and they're prostitutes. But, and I told my daughter, I said, that we're going to start to see more of that because the economy is crap.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to live out here, especially somewhere in San Bernardino where the economy, there virtually is not an economy.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people don't, I know we hate on San Bernardino, but slowly San Bernardino's making a comeback. They're moving them people out.
And what are they doing though? They're gentrifying.
Yes.
Yes, and that's the same thing downtown Riverside.
The Asians have bought all that.
But you know, downtown Riverside, they have a high-rise building right there in the middle of the hub of downtown. Going from a studio, a loft for $1,500 to $3,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. They're moving us out of here. And more people are leaving Moreno Valley now, because the niggers ain't working on warehouses. They're moving to Beaumont. They're moving farther and farther east. It's run us out of here.
Right. So we, black people, we got to stick together and start building our own economy. We have $1.3 trillion, so we got the money. We just need to stop giving away to people who do not.
And stop tricking it off, buying Nikes and things for our kids because we think it's cute.
We can do all that stuff once we really get a working economy.
Right.
We can do all that stuff, but right now we need to pool our resources.
Think about this. You just had a child for 10 years. Don't buy that child Nikes and stop buying the name brand bullshit. You would have enough to put down on a house.
Right, or instead teach them how to, create a business so they can buy those things.
Right.
Right.
So, again, the Demetra K Show on Sundays, Facebook Live, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you missed the show, you can always pop it up, and it's going to be there. And she's also on YouTube. Look up Demetra K on YouTube, and we love your small little snippets and things that you do there. Your last small little clip that you were talking about, I forgot.
I think I did one about Roseanne, and then I did one before about Black Spider-Man.
Yes, that was the one.
Awesome.
Which was awesome. The guy that went up there and saved
the baby.
Yeah. So you guys, that's what I'm saying. And nobody talks about what's really going on out there, and that's why we got to wake people up, and we're going to continue to do that. And again, for those of us that have military backgrounds, I mean, I can tell you everything you need to know if you're worried about getting your education or whatever. Ask us questions, and we're going to help you as much as we can, or at least we get you in the right direction. But again, this is Don't Believe the Hype. Get ready for it. We're going to be dropping it, and we're going to have a lot. Don't believe the hype. and to me, that is the perfect wording to get people to wake up and say, hey, what's really going on?
Right.
Because a lot of people are doing what we're doing, but their topics are more of TMZ.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Sometimes we talk about things and joking and all that other stuff, but for the most part, we want to keep it above the fray and bring you the information you need, and we promise to be entertaining in the process.
Right, exactly. So, tune in to us.
We won't coon, but we'll be entertaining.
Yeah, it'll be entertaining, and we'll get all that stuff going out for you, so it's going to be no problem. But you got any other announcements coming up? Anything?
No.
I mean, other than hopefully Dee will be joining her brother, Professor Sneak, and doing some stuff like that. Maybe. Depends if what you want, 3 weeks vacation?
Oh yeah, it's just 3 months.
3 months.
Okay.
So, and of course, eventually Dee will be broadcasting from Houston.
One day.
Or
we got to get syndicated first.
You know what? Why don't we just move Al here? Why don't we just move him here?
It's not the time does not permit at this time for him to move here.
If we get him that big paying job, the time will permit.
All we need to do is go syndicated.
And a lot of people are asking us, we need to start doing that.
Yeah, it's in the works.
We're working on something. We're near Hollywood. Why not? And that's another thing. I said this when I was in Vietnam. Because everybody's like, oh my God, you're in Vietnam. I can't believe you did this. Blah, blah, blah. It's like you told me, stop talking about it.
Be about it. Go do it.
Just go do it. You can't wait for somebody to.
That's what my mom used to always tell me. She's talking about it for.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Go do it. Well, what's stopping you from starting your business? What's stopping you from going to
What's
school?
stopping you is you.
You.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
And your mouth and your fear, doubt, and disbelief.
Right.
That's
Just go
what's
for
stopping
it.
you.
Just go for it. I went to Vietnam, didn't know what the hell I was doing, but had a great adventure.
Right.
Had a great adventure. So that's what we're going to advocate. We're going to tell you guys, and we're going to wake you up and tell you what's really going on in these other countries, because we're the greatest country in the world. So they keep telling us, but when you look around you, it isn't adding up.
My man.
It isn't adding up. And when I got off that plane at LAX and came back here, and I looked around from what I saw over there, it isn't adding up.
Yeah, when I picked you up, your fist was bald.
Yeah, I'm just mad.
Right.
No, but no, seriously, you get that feeling of, it's like your brain is trying to comprehend.
Lord.
Like, wait a minute, this is a poor country, but it looks better than
Right.
where I live.
Right.
Wake up, America. Wake up. Hey, this has been Don't Believe the Hype. We're going to see you guys again next week. See you guys then.
Peace. And so I questioned too. I said on my page yesterday, how long do you think it'll take for Fox News to, pick her up or put her on there?
As a commentator.
Because I was reading too right before we came on here that somebody, I can't remember who it was, some staunch Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's opening up a streaming service and he's talking about bringing a show over there.
Over there, yeah.
So there's a large portion of America, especially white America, that loves the Roseanne Barr show and loves what she's talking about. She takes liberals and everybody to task, and so they love it. And they'll go over there and watch.
Right, and another excuse that they're saying is she was in an accident when she was a teenager. She was in a car accident, and they say that's probably why she's kind of off a little bit. But for those that don't know Roseanne, let's take a look at her show that recently came out. Just take a real clip so you can kind of get an idea of what this woman's about. And there's Miss Barr.
Miss Barr and got barred from the doggone. Wow.
Mess with her coin.
And I used to like the Roseanne show back in the day.
The original, yeah.
When it came back, before I haven't watched it.
I think a lot of these shows are starting to come back.
But they're coming back as something else.
Yeah.
I guess from what they're saying.
Yeah, because I guess
really
Martin's going to try to come back.
How are you going to do it without Tommy?
I don't know.
You and Gina fell out. She was missing from the show for about a year or so.
Yeah, but Gina and him.
Well,
she's
Gina's
going through
broke.
Yeah, she's going through
Gina
divorce.
needs some money. She's
right?
like, listen, when I said you touched my booty, I'm
I
willing to squash it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so, moving right along, okay, so you don't think Roseanne should have, you think she should have been taken off there?
Absolutely.
I think she should have been taken off the
because
air
Disney
too.
doesn't want to be associated with.
Yeah.
I
think she should have been taken off the air too, or something for the co-workers or like.
Yeah. Here I committed to the show for 5 years, which usually what they do.
Yeah, because they said that she was picked up for the next year because the ratings were so good.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells you something about America. Right. The ratings are good on a racist.
But wait a minute, she had a little black girl on the show. How could she be racist?
Right. Okay. Moving along to our third and final topic, Snoop Dogg says. No, he says that too. Yeah, all that, okay? Okay? He says that Kanye needs black women in his life. Now, recently when he was on The View, he says he truly misses his mother. He truly misses a black woman in his life. He truly misses the stability of having somebody telling him when he's wrong and correcting him and checking him, as opposed to allowing him to continue to do what he is doing.
Isn't that what the wife did?
Snoop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was like, listen, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you a thing or two.
Yeah, you think you a pimp, but guess what?
Yeah, you sit your there behind down somewhere, okay? And you do call her boss lady.
Yeah.
Just in case
Boss
you didn't
lady.
know.
Yeah, I saw the show when it
right.
first got
Don't you ever forget.
Mm-hmm.
I love you though. And so then on the Breakfast Club, he says, there's no black women in his life. Let's just keep that 100. That's real. I got aunties that will pull up with those big church hats on and say, and I'm saying what he says, nigga, what's happening? You are what you on, nephew. You bullshitting. We taught you way better than that. So I got to the point. It got to the point to where it's like, it was funny, and then it got sad. And he's talking about Kanye, like, okay, first we're making fun of him, then it's like, okay, wait, what's really going on here? Lastly, he says, remember the music he was making when his mother was here, and the spirit that he had. And then he says, that's gone now. And if you never lost your mother, you don't understand that feeling. So I had to sympathize with that and say, you know what? Maybe the women around him should look into getting him some help from women that are stronger than them.
That ain't gonna happen.
The women that he's around, for those of you guys who live under a rock, are the Kardashians. He's married to Kim Kardashian. They have 3 kids together, and Snoop is basically taking them to task and saying he's around a bunch of white women who, I guess because it's his wife, that's who he's accountable to, allows him to just do and say anything without saying, yo, I'm going to need you to sit yourself down somewhere. Right. You off the chain a little bit. You need to think about what it is you're doing. And so...
But when have the Kardashians ever stood up for anything black? Other than D?
Right, well, they don't. They appropriate blackness in every way, shape, or form. They love black men. Every last one of them has got a black man. I'm surprised Caitlyn ain't got no black man.
Caitlyn?
Bruce.
Bruce! Sorry.
Bruce got him a white woman, okay?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But every last one of them has got a black man.
Okay.
And so, I I thought about what Snoop said.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, my dad always tells me this, and he always gives me a compliment in saying that you and what a black woman is supposed to do is bring balance to a man.
Right.
Well, not even just a black woman, but a woman is supposed to bring balance into a man's life and supposed to be able to proverbially kick him in his backside if he needs that. I'm not talking about nagging. I'm not talking about you ain't this and you ain't that. I'm talking about, honey, don't you think probably what you're getting ready to do or what you're doing is probably going to be detrimental to what it is we're doing, or maybe you shouldn't do that. And you know, you getting on Twitter talking about slavery was a choice, and recently he purchased
or put a titty in his mouth.
Well, whatever the status, you know, to get him to think about the things that he's doing. And I will say that as a black woman, like, black women get a lot of heat.
Yes.
We get a lot of heat for being naggy and this and that.
Well, you guys are a little aggressive, so.
I just think that's kind of how we are by nature. I don't think we mean anything by it, but my dad always says too, a man worth his weight is going to understand when a woman is holding him accountable. It's not, and again, I'm not talking about that nagging stuff. You this, you that.
Sorry ass nigga.
I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about a woman who says, look, baby, what you getting ready to do, are you sure that's what you want to do? You know, be able to get the point across to him. And so it made me think, well, does Snoop have a point? Because he said this on various outlets about Kanye. And so, I think he's on to something.
So you're saying every black man needs some kind of black woman around him?
I believe so. I mean, I don't know what Kanye is surrounded by, but from all appearances, it doesn't look like he has any black women. Or if he does, any strong black women to pull him by the collar and say, listen. Because Snoop says that he talked about, you know, Beyonce, he talked about himself, and his wife, because if you guys you don't know, Snoop at one point in time was trying to divorce his wife, and his wife was like, not today, boo.
Yeah, that's what he was going through his pimp phase.
Yeah, I understand you going through some things, but you got a woman and some kids. You need to run all that about your system, but I ain't going. No, listen. I was here before the money, and I'm gonna be here after the money.
Can you talk to Dwayne Wade's ex? Can you please explain that?
Dwayne Wade's ex?
Yeah, his ex-wife, when she was going crazy and.
Oh, well, no, see, that's a whole topic, brother. We not gonna run Dwayne Wade's ex low. Okay,
all right. No, I'm trying to run her low. I'm saying, could you explain that and why she was doing what she was doing?
Because the man was cheating on her with Gabrielle Union, and they snatched her babies from her. That would drive any woman crazy. Man, I came up in the game with you.
But how? Okay, they snatched the babies away, but I'm not saying she's wrong. I don't know the whole story with that, but they must have had a good reason to take the babies.
Well, a lot of times you don't need a good reason. A lot of times all you need is money and a good lawyer. I mean, let's be honest.
Steve Harvey.
Yeah. You know, these women that came up in the game with you was there eating saltine crackers and sardines with you, you know, and the mustard and the whole nine, and all of a sudden you come up, you can't smell yourself no more. You smelling yourself, rather. And then you gonna dump me and take my kids? Yeah, I'm going crazy too.
Okay, well, I want you to know.
And I might hop out of the bush on you as well.
I want you and Al to know that as long as me and the man are together, we're in it together to win it.
Do your thing, okay? Do your thing. But, I mean, you think about what Snoop said, I believe he's right. I mean, a woman is supposed to bring balance to a man.
Yeah, absolutely. And
vice versa. And if it's not your woman, and I'm not listening. For those of y'all in a relationship, I ain't talking about you. Yeah. I'm talking about black people. A black woman is going to understand a black man like no other woman. Right. See, because I'm not there in Kim and Kanye's relationship, but it does appear like, because she even went after his friend called Rhymefest. So he's his friend and the producer that's produced a lot of tracks and stuff for him, and they're also running what they call Donda's House. There's a house in Chicago, an organization that helps the underprivileged kids and doing a lot of work. So Rhymefest put out a tweet basically putting Kanye on blast, saying that Kanye has just pretty much walked away from the organization and said, F the kids of Chicago. And so Kim gets on there and goes after his friend that's running the organization, saying, oh, you got on fake Yeezys and you're this and you're that and you're not coming to Wyoming for the producing and all this other stuff, and just ran the floor with material stuff. And if it's the last thing I do, me and my kids, we're going to get the organization away from you and we're going to run it. And so Reinfest gets on there and writes her this letter. He was nice about it. He didn't drag her like a lot of people would have. But he was like, it's funny how you're talking about my fake shoes and all this material stuff, but I'm here doing the work that your husband wanted to honor his mother with. He's abandoned the organization. We are, helping the kids. We're doing this, that, and the other. He said, and you've never been here not one time. You ain't been here one time, but yet you talk about taking over the organization. Right. He says, why don't you come and mentor some of these girls? Instead of talking about I'm taking stuff over. He says, you have no clue about none of this, but yet and then she says, my fans don't even know who you are, and he says, you're right. Your fans probably won't know who I am because I'm in the streets.
Well, her fans don't even know what she does.
And that's when he was like, you busy around here taking selfies and stuff, but I'm out here in the trenches doing the work. And so then she kind of got her lunch ate and, kind of back, but she kind of said a couple other things. And he says the next day was, since you're threatening to take an organization away from us that we work so hard to help these kids that you ain't never met, he says we are changing the name of the organization and then y'all can go do your own thing. But we're not going to have you and your celebrity status come and undo the work. And so to me, I don't know how much it has to do with her being a white woman, but it has a lot to, in a way, because here's this white woman speaking crazy to this black man, but yet you
not knowing what's going on.
But you putting this black man in check, but your black man running around like loose and off the chain, but you ain't putting him in check.
Right.
So I don't know. I do think it takes a black woman to be able to talk to a black man in that way. But I'm not talking to you black men, come get me, come get it. I ain't talking to you black men who will have written off sisters and just want to talk about, well, I want a white woman and a white woman, whatever. We ain't talking to you, so keep it pushing. Okay? We ain't talking to you. We talking to black men who understand that it takes a black woman to fully have him realize who he is as a black man.
Right.
Okay? We ain't talking to y'all.
Yeah, because when you're in interracial relationships, and I've never been in one, but I did outside my race. But even when I did, like sometimes because you're with somebody that's of equal caliber to you, you could come in and there's no conversation to be said because you understand where that person's coming and vice versa. If you had a bad day, I ain't got to say, well, where you been? And it's already plainly to see.
Or let's just think about this, because I know you and Al like to talk about television a lot. Imagine if Good Times would have been written with James Blackman and Florida, the white woman.
Oh, yeah, no, that would not have worked.
Right, at all, because they're not even on the same...
same page.
I just can't take it, James, I'm leaving.
Or the Jeffersons, George and... not Boomquisha,
George and Jan.
Something like that. He's with the Asian
Louise,
chick.
He was with
and Fung, Louise and Fung.
It wouldn't have worked, and understandably so, because you're just not going to understand. You'll try, but you're not. It's not going to be organic.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because when I was in, overseas in Vietnam and stuff like that, so a lot of beautiful women in Asia, if that's your thing, whatever, and there are, people are beautiful in all their designs. Now, here's the thing: what you don't understand, like here in America, you can meet a girl, and especially in the black community, her father's usually not around, and you can meet her, and you go on.
That's not.
No. What did I say? Usually.
Not even usually.
Well, anyway, in a lot of situations, as they do. And, the father, whatever situation, you could marry her and don't even tell the father anything if the father's there, okay? Here nor there. In the Asian culture, especially over there, you're not just dating that girl, you're dating her family. So a good example, Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, a lot of people don't even know, Tiger Woods has older black siblings.
Right,
his father,
we don't know.
Right.
We don't know.
His father married a Thai lady. Now notice, the Thai mother made sure Tiger takes care of the Asian side of the family.
Yeah, because when he was at that press conference, she was...
Yep.
How dare you
have
us in this negative light?
Well, it's not even that. Just the idea, she made sure that they're going to, do that. So the cultural, the norms are different. So it's what you're saying is very, very true.
Right. So we just got to really think about that, what Snoop is saying, and I think there's a lot of truth to that. So again, like I said, I'm not talking to you black men who have written black women off. You found happiness with Jan or Win or whoever. Go do you, boo. I'm talking to the black man who understand what I'm saying and that it does take a black woman to bring balance to you as a black man. even the other way around. It takes a black man to bring balance to a black woman.
Right, we need each other. But in Tiger's mother's defense, you should marry white woman. See what happened when you marry white woman? You should have married us. I told you, these white women are good. Now we lost millions. Millions are gone. You dumb fuck.
Yeah, he gave her a lot of money.
A lot of money. That was some expensive
he wasn't even gonna able to. I mean, she got kids.
No, and you know what? He didn't need to because you're a damn fool.
Right, you run around chasing all these
Right.
women.
But you notice when his dad was here, he wasn't doing that. His
Right.
dad said, keep your little side piece to the side, do your little
Right.
thing. This motherfucker. And then now he's got another white woman. Niggas never learn. Niggas never learn. Never learn. Niggas never learn. So.
You don't believe fat meat is greasy, huh?
That's it. You don't think, I'm not saying, I wish him the best, whatever.
Right.
But goddamn, you lost $150 million.
Just keep on jumping in the fire.
Yeah.
I'm the frying pan into the fire.
Hey, what do you think this other woman, I'm not saying she's going to do it, but you should have some reservation.
Do you ever think, Tiger, you might want to come on home?
Yeah.
Come on home, brother.
You know?
Stay with your Polynesian.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, that's why I don't follow Tiger. I was like, man, you dumb.
It's just dumb.
Dumb.
OJ dumb?
Dumb. Dumb. And, and I don't know what these white women do to these brothers because, look, now Tiger's on drugs. He got pulled over for the medicine and stuff. And,
he was on Ambien.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because, okay, I'm not saying Tiger went to college. I'm not saying he's dumb in the aspect of dumb. They do dumb stuff because it's like, okay, I have medicines too. I'm not driving when I'm on my medications and, because it tells you that. But this motherfucker's gonna go do that. Talk about, I wasn't drunk, I was on prescription medication.
That's even better. That's even better, Tiger.
You're messing with your money because at one time, even if, let's say he retired from golf, it'd be like Air Jordan. Your stuff would sell even long after you left the game.
Right,
but now
right.
you're muddying your name so bad, people are like, nah, fuck that. I don't want no Tiger Woods shit. That motherfucker,
Right.
looks like OJ. You don't want an OJ Simpson jersey, It's sad.
Listen, for those brothers who are still, wondering, come on home.
Wait. Let's talk about these sisters now.
Come on home, sister.
Mm-hmm.
Come on home.
Please.
We are better together.
Right.
And I tell people this a lot. I want to be transparent. How much time we got?
We got plenty of time.
I want to be transparent and telling y'all that I have 10 nieces and nephews, and every last one of them are biracial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Confused. No. Go ahead.
Wow. And so love who you love.
Love who you love.
I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying for me, okay, it's always been about a black man.
I don't know. Al is I've been reading the comments.
Yeah.
No, he's a brother.
He's a brother.
He's just on the
He's
light side.
biracial. I mean, it is what it is.
He's still a brother.
But and not that I even have to give any explanation for who he is.
No, he's a brother.
He's never met his white side of the family.
Right.
He's never met him.
He's a brother.
Never been raised by white people. I'm not saying anything wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
He's never been raised by white people. He's been raised by the black side of his family.
Al is all brother. Okay.
Trust me, I know it.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I could personally vouch for that.
Okay. Right on. So he doesn't want you to run around the house naked and then jump on his face? So, maybe.
My little person in my mind is like, shut your mouth, shut your mouth. Don't you confirm, don't you deny, you just shut your mouth. And I did. I listened to it for once.
There you go. But, it's just sad in those situations where we're, the cops brutalizing white women, it's all about the have and the have-nots, in my opinion, and that's how it's always going to be.
We'll see.
The color thing is out the window. That's why white people are panicking now, because they are in the minority, and it's getting worse. It isn't something like we did. They're the ones crossing into the lines that got us messed up. And
I mean, y'all was creeping in the slave
right,
quarters.
exactly.
You brought us over here.
Right. You have nobody to blame but yourself.
Right. So I mean, hey.
But I want to say this: when I was overseas,
Mm-hmm.
I ran into a lot of different people. Very few Americans I ran into of my age and older, but ran into a lot of Australians, South Africans, Irish, British people. This one South African lady, 89 years old, and she was backpacking with her two daughters. Beautiful lady.
89.
89. She was backpacking. You're going across the things like that. So we were sitting there talking, and we're having breakfast, and she's on holiday. And, you know, we're talking about our pensions and things like that, right? And, you know, she said, excuse me, Yank. That's what they call us. Are you familiar with...
Said, excuse me, nigga.
I would have been like, excuse me?
That's a great
yes,
performance.
yeah. And that's how I felt. You know,
Yeah.
you really feel like you're in a colonial type situation because you're in this
Yeah.
higher area, because they have vastly poor people in Vietnam, and Agent Orange is a real thing. It fucked a lot of those kids up.
Yeah.
There's really bad people there. But
Not bad people, but exactly.
yeah, exactly. So the kids out, and they're that our age.
Right.
We were kids when that was
Right.
going on.
True. Well, you was. I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't even born yet.
Late
Yeah,
80s.
yeah, you were only born. You weren't even born yet. Your mom was still.
Right.
So,
Right.
but she said, "Are you familiar with what's going on in South Africa?" I said, "Matter of fact, I am." And she said, "Isn't it a damn shame how they're just tearing that country up?" And I said, "Man, what do you mean?" And she goes, "Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I was born during World War II."
I said, I know. I can tell.
Yeah. And she goes, "As a white person, I knew when I had my children that they were privileged because of their skin." That was the first white person that ever admitted to me in public
Right.
that she knew because she was white, she was privileged
Right.
than most.
Right.
So I'm gonna give her props on that.
Okay. We'll give her. Let me give her 1 point.
1 point.
Like
There you go.
dominoes,
You got
okay.
that down. Right. You got one down.
You got it down.
And she said, I said, "Well, what's the problem with it?" And she was like, "We give them the industry." And you know, she was like, with the Robert Mugabe thing where he gave the land back. She goes, "That's going to be such a disaster." And I said, "Well, ma'am, it's not going to be a disaster." I said, "The reason why Zimbabwe and the Robert Mugabe thing didn't work out."
Okay. Wait. I got to take her
Oh,
point back.
take that point back. Okay, good. I said the reason why that didn't work out is because the sanctions that were put on the country, that's what destroyed it. I said because the land is the land.
Right. Tell the whole story.
Yeah, tell the whole. I
What was
said,
her name?
you know,
Barb. Tell the whole story.
yeah. But you know, she was looking at the whole thing. I said, no,
Right.
they were under sanctions for years.
Right. And who put them under sanctions?
Right, the Western powers.
Barb.
Because they freed themselves and so
Right.
they said, "Oh, you ain't gonna do what we tell you? We're gonna sanction you to make sure
Barb, get the whole story.
to make sure you fail."
Right.
And I said, "Okay, well, what's the problem with them giving land to the Africans?" "Well, they don't know what they're doing." And she goes, "I'm gonna say this. I am guilty of it." And she goes, "I wish if I could go back, I could fix it." I said, "Well, fix what?" She goes, "In South Africa, we denied them education."
Okay, she can get a half a point back to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said, "We denied them education."
Okay.
And she said, "When you're denied education, you have nothing but ignorance after that." And she goes, "With an education, you're unlimitless in what you can do." And I said, "I agree with that. You know, education is the key to anything."
I agree that it's
You're unlimited in what you can do.
But we also know there's a lot of people, and listen, I got 2 degrees, you
Sure.
got 11, so I'm not never discounting the importance of a degree, but they have this thing called hustle and ingenuity. You
Sure.
just naturally have that.
Right.
And I hate to hear people say that, especially in regards to South Africa. Oh, well, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, the land, the farmland
African
just
period.
gonna
African
dry
period.
up. Man, we do that in our sleep. How
Right.
the heck y'all think y'all learn how to
Right,
plant
exactly.
and garden? We taught you.
Right, but you know, I agree with her with the thing because she said like in South Africa, they back when apartheid was going on, they stopped the Africans after like 8th grade or 6th grade or something like that. So you know, you're limited in your
Right.
thing. So like you get college education, you're exposed a lot more, and you're a little bit more of a thinker. You think a little bit more outside the box.
But again, too.
No, I understand what your hustle.
No.
I agree with your hustle.
But that's the point of view from a white person
Yes.
who has probably always looked down upon
Right.
black people. Out of her very mouth, she said that they denied black people education.
Yeah.
So to deny somebody something in America, we know that's a right.
Yeah.
That says that you didn't have a favorable view of them
Sure,
anyway.
anyway,
And so
right.
you got to take into account that's her side of things.
Sure.
Oh, they're ignorant, they're this and that.
Yeah.
Only because now they're coming back to take what you took from them in the first place.
Right, and so you know she's upset about it, and she goes, "Well, the country's going to go, you know." She was like, "You'll go to work, and like instead of putting in a hard 8 hours a day like they used to when we were the
No,
past
like
masters.
when we used to crack the
Yeah,
whip
crack
on
the
them
whip
and
on
make
them.
them.
And she goes, now they'll go and then like they'll be sleeping half the time. They'll siesta or whatever. And
How the heck you know what them people do?
right. Well, here's what I told her. I said, well, ma'am.
Barb is nosy
Yeah.
as hell.
Well, I just told her. I said, regardless of how you feel about the situation, I said, ancestral land. Here's what I asked her. It was real funny. I said, do you believe that the Jews should be in Israel? She said, yes. She said, absolutely. That's their ancestral land. I said, well, if you believe the Jews should be in Israel because it's their ancestral land, then why don't you believe that the
bouncing ball,
right? Why don't you believe that the Africans should have their ancestral land?
Well, because we have it now.
Right. So she was, she's sitting there and she's like, and I said, well, regardless of how we feel, and I said, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. I said, at the end of the day, did you ever think payback was gonna come?
No.
And that's what I said, and she was like, well, it's just that. I said, no, it doesn't matter. Payback.
We want it back now, Barb.
Right. I said,
we
payback.
want it back.
If you do somebody wrong, how could you sit there and be mad because they're about to kick your ass?
And if you're watching in the South African Parliament now, you're starting because you see Julius Malema and the EFF. They're like, wait a second, Ramaphosa, whatever his name is, he's who they knew he would be.
Yeah.
Kind of, let's see, we want the expropriation, we're not representing our what do you call it?
Yeah.
I forget the name of that.
Land, give them back
Right.
land. Mm-hmm.
We kind of want to see how it and Julius is like no, that's not what we said. And so you see a lot of infighting in the parliament.
But here's the thing about Julian. That when I was over there, I did some research real quick. Julian is saying, go ahead and take the land and occupy the land and squat on the land, and I'm all for that. Yes, do that, but let them squat on your land too, Julian.
Why would he though?
The guy has several properties.
Okay, but see, that's the problem that I have with that is we always. I just want to jump up and run around this studio. We always want to hold the black man to task. Listen.
No, I'm listening.
But doing the same thing all the white people in South Africa.
No.
We stop following the ball.
No.
We get
No. I agree with you. The average black man, what I'm saying is when you're a political person, this is a problem we have in America right now. Your girl, Aunt Maxine, you're enriching yourself off of, no, it doesn't apply to you.
Okay, but do you see Aunt Maxine? Now, she kind of does it a little bit roundabout way, but do you see her out there like you see Julius out there making all that noise and saying, no, we ain't going for it.
She doesn't make no noise.
Right, so...
But what I'm saying is, where I'm coming from, all politicians on that level, if you're advocating that, same thing with your fellow politician, it applies to all of you on that level.
Okay, I get it, but in this case, we're not talking about politicians. We're talking about white versus black.
Right.
Black being that we were the original people here, and white people came, and we know the whole story. And so, for people to try to say, well, Julius is doing the same thing, he's not really doing the same thing.
No, not yet. But the thing is, he's positioning himself, the way I look at it, is to be a dictator.
Well, wouldn't you want somebody like that to be the dictator than somebody who would just kind of say, well, we're all going to bend over, massa?
Well, no, not necessarily, because...
So you rather have a white man...
No, I don't want the white man either. What I'm saying is I see a pattern of a Mugambi setup. That's what I'm seeing. As a political person, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what do they have now, though?
The ANC has been in control for almost, 40 years now? 30, 40 years?
But has the ruling been a lot different than it is now?
No.
So you've always had the EFF who has been trying to hold them accountable and saying
right. No, the EFF is fairly a new thing. But what I'm saying is, though, you have black majority rule. You already have that.
But why has it been that way for 40 years, though?
Because there was a deal made to where, and people got to understand this. Like I said, this is a new show that we're doing. Don't believe the hype. In South Africa, and that's something I like about this show. We're going to be covering things that you need to know about. White people in South Africa make up 17% of the population. They control 78% of the land. That's a problem.
Right. Okay, so back to my original question. You got, this has been going on, ANC has been in control.
30, 40 years.
Yeah. It's about 30 years.
88, yeah.
Okay.
88, since 88.
So.
Or 92, sorry.
Yeah, so Why do you think that is? That they have the majority, but yet black people are still suffering?
Because the wealth and the corporations and the thing is owned by the white folks. So it's like behind this curtain here. The power actually is behind the curtain, right? And that's Africa in general.
Right.
It's the power behind the curtain.
And so that's what Julius was saying to Cyril Ramaphosa. And that, don't think you're going to get in here and do what your predecessor did.
And that's what he's starting to do.
Right, and so that's what he said. That's why, because I saw one not too long ago where the EFF got kicked out.
Yeah. In one of the parliamentary meetings.
But I'm like, the cold part is the white dudes there, like, okay, you guys are cutting him off. You guys aren't following the rules. You guys are not letting Julius speak, and you guys got to let them speak. But the black people are like, no, can't say those things.
Right. So, so that's what we're going to start talking about. We're going to try to unveil what is going on so you don't believe the hype. You don't hear nothing about Africa. And you would think with 13% of the black population here in the United States, we should be hearing what's going on in our
No, Donovan, because we're still trying to get up in a Waffle House.
Yeah. And we're too busy twerking.
Right, we want to know why we can't get up in the Waffle House. Right. Why do you keep doing bad things? So we can't even stay up at the Waffle House.
Well, what kills me is, and when I was in Vietnam and I was self-reflecting, if I knew what was going on in some of these great black corporations that are going on in Africa and in Europe, maybe I would want to be a part of that and uplift myself out of the poverty that I'm in.
Listen, and I know a lot of times we joke and stuff, but it is going to take us to research past what is being told to us. It's going to take us to turn off the television and stop watching so much Jerry Springer and Maury Povich in divorce court and paternity court.
Haven't watched that in almost a month.
Because your ass ain't been in the country, okay? Right. It's going to take us to stop watching the Basketball Wives and all this stuff. Okay, it's cool every once in a while, but we got to get in these books. We got to get into Google. We got to start learning things for ourselves.
We got to get into the world, period.
Just get into it.
Because we are missing out.
We're missing out and we're being misled. And as we talked about, Malcolm X's birthday was a couple weeks back, the 19th. Yeah. And you listen to a lot of his speeches and the things that he was saying, it's almost as if he's talking about 2018. It is almost like there's nothing has moved. Nothing has changed. You could take those speeches that he used back then and put them right now here in 2018, and it was like, is he talking about things that are going on
right now? Yeah, was he in a time